After studying the DML and the DDL statements, the next in line are the DCL statements, which are also known as the data control language statements. So we will have a look at the data control language statements today. We will begin with, now first and foremost we must know what are the various commands that are used within a DCL or a data control language. The commands that are used within a data control language or DCL are create, grant, revoke and drop. I will write here. The first one is create, the second one is grant, the third one is revoke, and then we have the drop command. So in total we have these four commands that will be used for a DCL or a data control language. We will begin with the create command. Now different users will have access to the database management system. Now what access has to be provided to which user, or in other words, which privilege has to be provided to which particular user is all provided with the help of the DCL statements. Now all these authorities or all these rights are in the hand of the system administrator, and it is the system administrator who with the help of DCL statements grants different permissions to different users. For any user to have access to the database, that user must have a valid user ID and a password, right? For example, if I take the example of a college, so to access or view the records of the from the college database, for example view the records of the students or to view the records of the teachers, a person must have an authorized username and password provided by the college. Yes, so that is the first step towards accessing the database, without which you are not a valid or legal user. So if you are a valid and legal user, you will be having a valid username and the password which will be provided by the concerned authority. So it is the task of the database administrator to provide these rights, to provide the username and passwords to various users. So in order to be able to access the database, a person must have a valid username and password. Now this comes under DCL. The database administrator using the data control language statements provides the username and the password to various users. How is that username and password provided? Create. The create is the keyword to create a username and password for the user. Create. Now here he will provide the username, which is identified by what? This particular password. A username, then you identify that username with the help of the password. This is what happens when you log into any website. You provide your username, then you provide your password, and when both of them are valid, only then you are allowed to log in into that website. So this is done using the DCL statements. It says create, give a username which is identified by this password. For example, a student in the PhD course wants to access information regarding PhD from the college website. So the website, when this user is signing up, the website will ask for a particular username and a particular password. When that username and password is provided, the database administrator, the system administrator will create the username and password using command create user phd1, which is the username, identified by w123, which is the password. So a user has been assigned the username phd1 and the password w123. Using this username and password, now the user can log in to the website and access the records according to the permission that particular user has been assigned. Now this was the create command. Now next we will look at the grant command. The grant command is basically used for granting permissions or privileges to the user. users. Okay, now once after getting a valid username and a password, next thing is to allow the user to establish a session with that particular database. A session is basically a mechanism by which the user can interact with the system or access the system. So first of all, for the user to be able to access the records of the database, the user needs to have needs to be granted a session through which it can have an interface with the system. So for this we have command for this we have the command grant. So I say grant create session on, what was my username? PhD1. So when the user logs in with the valid username and password, after that, to enable that user to access the records of the database, I need to provide him a session with the system, provide him to establish a session with the system. So I say grant, what to grant? Create a session for use on this particular user. So this user is now identified with his username. So I say create a session on this username. So the moment I say grant create session on PhD1, which is the username, a session is created for the respective user. Now it can have a one-on-one interaction with the system or the database management system. Now there are various permissions that can be provided or various privileges that can be provided to the user using the grant command. For example, I say grant. Now the privileges depend upon the type of user, what is the role of that user in the system, and what kind of privileges the database administrator or the system administrator thinks would be beneficial to provide to that particular user. So I say grant select on EMP to PhD1. Now again, I will be dealing with the username every time. Password is just for one time login, but every time I want to refer to this user, I will be using its username. So I want to provide only the select permission or the select privilege to the user PhD1. That means with the help of select query, you can only view the records of the database. So I say only give the select permission to this particular user. So I will say grant what permission? Select permission on which particular table. Now our database will have various tables. I may not want that user to have access to all the tables. So I will specify on which particular table. I will not say that for the entire database you give him the select permission. No. On which particular table or tables I want to give the select permission or I want to grant the select permission, I will have to mention that table's name also. So I say grant select on which table? This is the name of the table, employee table. To who? Which user? To the user PhD. So now the PhD user can use the select commands, all kinds of select commands on the table employee. Now for example, I want to assign the user various other kinds of permissions also. I say not just select, but other permissions also should be allowed to granted to this user. So what will I write? Grant select comma update comma delete comma insert on EMP to PhD1. Now I think that this user should be provided all these permissions. Which all permissions? To select, use the select command, to update the database, to delete the records from the database, to insert new records inside the database, depending upon the role of the user. So I will say grant, select, comma, which other permission, update, comma, which other permission, delete, comma, which other permission, insert. Okay, these are the 4 privileges that I want to give to my user. On which particular table? On the employee table. This is the table. To which user? To the PhD user. So basically these are all the privileges that I want to give. The privileges are select, update, delete, insert. Grant is the keyword to provide those privileges. How will I provide those privileges? Using the grant keyword. What are the privileges? Select, update, delete, insert. On which particular table? On the employee table. To which user? To PhD1 user. So using grant permission, I can now grant command, I can now give various other privileges to my user. So next, for example, I want to assign the same permission to 2 different users. This I was talking about privileges or permissions to one user. Now if in case I want to assign the grant and same kind of privileges to 2 different users, if I want to give or assign 2 privileges or 2 similar kind of permissions to 2 different users, then what will I do? I will say grant select on EMP to PhD1, PhD2. Now here I am talking of 2 different users. I want to assign the same permission or the same privilege to 2 different users. This is user 1, this is user 2. So why will I waste my time writing this same statement again and again? Why should I write grant select on EMP to PhD1, then again grant select on EMP to PhD2? So I will simplify my task. What will I say? Grant a permission using the grant keyword. What are the privileges? Select. Only select is allowed for these users. On which particular table? On the employee table. Now to which users? To user PhD1, which is first user, user PhD2, second user. Similarly, I can grant various other permissions to 2 different users also at the same time, like grant select, comma, update, comma, delete on PhD1, comma, PhD2. Now these are the permissions that I want to grant to my 2 users. Select, update and delete are the privileges that are given to my users on which table? On the EMP table. To which users? To PhD1, the first user, and PhD2, the second user. So this is how I can grant one or more than one permissions or privileges to more than one user at the same time. Now, if I want to give all the permissions to a particular user, what will I write? Grant all. That is all the privileges that I have. If I want to grant all those privileges to a user, I will say grant all on which table? To PhD1. I will say grant all permissions. Now there are no specific permission or privileges. I say whatever privileges or I have, assign all of them to on which table? On the EMP table. To which user? To the user PhD1. Similarly, I can assign all the permissions to all users, which I say whichever users I have in my who are accessing the database, grant all of them all the permissions. So how will I write that? Grant all on EMP. Now I am to which user? Now as I told you, I said assign all permissions to all users. So here I am not talking of one user or two users or three users. I am talking of all the users who will be accessing the database. So I say to public. So this way I will be granting all the privileges on the implied table to the entire users of the database. I have made all the privileges public now. That means all the users of the database can use them. But this is a very dangerous thing to do. This was just an example of how you can do that, but it is never done, nor should this thing be done at all, because it can be very dangerous. As I told you in the beginning only, that the information of a database is very crucial, very confidential. So never should you assign all permissions to all the users. You should never make all the permissions public. Now this was about granting permissions. Now I may want to take away a permission also, depending upon whether the user has left the organization or depending upon whether the role of that user has been changed. So I may want to take away the permissions from that particular user. So what I will say that remove, revoke, select on EMP to PhD 1. Sorry, from PhD 1. So I say, now I don't want to give this user this select permission. So I say revoke. Revoke means take away the permission. Which permission? The select permission or the select privilege. On which table? On the employee table. From which user? From the user PhD. Same way, I may want to take away all the permissions from this particular user. For example, it may happen that this user has left the organization, or for some other reason I may want to take away all the permissions from this user. I will say revoke all on PMP from PhD 1. So this way I am taking away all the permissions or privileges on employee table from the user PhD. And the last command in the DCL statements is that the drop command. With the drop command, I can delete the user ID. If I want to delete the user ID, this was about granting permissions or taking away permissions. But if I want to completely delete that user ID, for example, that user no longer exists or has left the organization, I will simply use the drop command for that. What will I say? Drop user PhD 1. So the account of PhD 1 user will be deleted from my database, and hence it will not have any permissions. When the account does not exist, so obviously that user will not be a valid user, and if it is not a valid user, it will not be allowed to have access to any of the information of the database. That means it will have no privileges or no permissions. So these were the DCL commands.